Beloved, listen to me very carefully right now. I need your complete and undivided attention for the next few minutes of your life. What I am about to tell you is not something you stumbled upon by accident or random chance. This message has been divinely scheduled for you since before the foundations of the earth were laid in place. The timing of this exact moment, down to the very second you pressed play on this video, was orchestrated by hands that hold entire galaxies in their grip. Tonight at midnight, something fundamental is going to shift in your life that cannot be explained by any natural means. A door that has been rusted shut and sealed tight for 7 long years is about to swing open with such tremendous force that the sound will echo through multiple generations of your family line. I know you are tired beyond what words can express. I know the weight you have been carrying has bent your shoulders and stolen the light from your eyes. I know there have been countless mornings when getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain with no summit in sight and no end to the struggle. But I need you to stay with me through this entire message. I need you to hear every single word that follows. Because what happens at midnight tonight depends entirely on whether you receive what I am depositing into your spirit right now in this sacred moment. My beloved child, let me tell you exactly what I have witnessed in your life over these years of struggle. I have watched you stretch $20 to last an entire week when others spend that much on a single coffee. I have seen you check your bank account balance with trembling fingers, hoping somehow the number had miraculously changed since the last time you looked just hours before. I have observed you lying awake at 3 in the morning, calculating bills in your head, moving numbers around like chess pieces, trying desperately to make impossible mathematics somehow work. The anxiety that grips your chest like a vice when an unexpected expense suddenly appears out of nowhere. The deep shame you feel when you have to decline an invitation from friends because you simply cannot afford to participate. The bone-deep exhaustion of working multiple jobs and still falling short every single month, despite your very best efforts. I have seen all of it with perfect clarity. Every moment of financial terror that has gripped your heart. Every night of worry that has stolen your sleep. Every sacrifice you made for your family that no one else even noticed or acknowledged. The groceries you put back on the shelf when the total got too high. The medication you rationed because refills cost too much. The birthdays and holidays where you felt inadequate because your gifts could not match your love. The dreams you buried because they seemed too expensive to pursue. You thought this was just your lot in life, the hand you were dealt that you simply had to accept. You convinced yourself that some people are meant to prosper and others are destined to struggle, and somehow, through some cosmic mistake, you ended up on the wrong side of that equation. You started to believe that lack was your permanent address, that scarcity had written its name on your mailbox and taken up residence in your home. But let me tell you what was really happening behind the scenes of your financial struggles. 3 specific demons were assigned directly to your finances 7 years ago. This was not random hardship that happens to everyone. This was not bad luck or poor decisions on your part. This was targeted, strategic warfare against your provision. The enemy saw what I was building in you, and he knew with terrifying certainty that if you ever had resources to match your calling, his kingdom would suffer devastating and irreparable damage. The first demon was assigned to systematically block income that was meant for you. Jobs you were perfectly qualified for went to others who were less capable. Promotions you clearly deserved were given to people who had not earned them. Business opportunities that had your name written on them were mysteriously redirected at the very last moment, just as they were about to manifest. You would get so close you could almost taste the breakthrough, and then something would happen. The hiring manager would change their mind. The company would restructure. The deal would fall through for reasons no one could adequately explain. This was not coincidence. This was coordinated interference with your financial destiny. The second demon was assigned to create constant unexpected expenses. Every single time you started to get ahead, something would break down. The car would need expensive repairs that drained your savings. A medical bill would appear out of nowhere for something insurance would not cover. An emergency would arise that demanded every dollar you had managed to scrape together. It felt like you were walking on a treadmill that kept speeding up no matter how fast you tried to run. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Progress followed by setback. Hope followed by disappointment. This pattern was not natural. It was engineered by forces that wanted to keep you financially paralyzed. The third demon was assigned to imprison you in a mindset of lack and scarcity. Even when provision came, you could not enjoy it because you were always anxiously waiting for the other shoe to drop. You could not receive blessing with open hands because you were convinced it would be taken away the moment you started to relax. This spirit of poverty is more than just empty pockets. It is a way of thinking that keeps people trapped even when opportunities surround them. It whispers that you do not deserve abundance. It insists that money is evil and wanting more is greedy. It convinces you that your children will inherit your struggles because that is just how life works for people like you. This has been warfare, my precious one. Calculated, strategic, intentional spiritual warfare against your financial peace and your family's prosperity. But tonight at midnight, every assignment against your provision is being officially and permanently canceled. Every demonic contract written against your finances is being torn up and thrown into consuming fire. The blockages in your financial pipelines are being removed by angelic intervention. The channels of provision are being cleared of every obstruction. My dear one, I need to show you the deeper purpose behind why you have walked through this extended season of lack and struggle. It was not punishment for past sins you committed. It was not evidence that I had forgotten about you or moved on to bless others instead. It was not proof that you are somehow unworthy of abundance while others deserve prosperity. It was preparation for what I am about to release. I needed to develop something specific in you that prosperity alone could never create. I needed to build a character foundation in you that could handle the weight of what I am about to release without being corrupted by it. I needed to know with certainty that when massive blessing comes, you will not forget the one who provided it all. In the wilderness of financial lack, you learned to trust me in ways that abundance never teaches. When the cupboard was almost empty, but somehow there was always enough for one more meal. That was my provision, teaching you dependence. When the bill was due and the money appeared from an unexpected source at the last possible moment, that was my faithfulness building your confidence. You learned to be genuinely grateful for small things that others overlooked and take for granted. A tank of gas became a celebration. A bag of groceries felt like treasure. A small, unexpected check in the mail brought tears of relief and thanksgiving. You developed deep compassion for those who struggle because you understand their pain intimately from personal experience. You will never look down on the poor or dismiss the struggling because you have walked in their shoes and felt what they feel. This compassion is not an accident. It is a requirement for where I am taking you. These qualities that were forged in the furnace of financial pressure are not random developments. They are specific requirements for the assignment I have prepared for you. You cannot lead people out of poverty if you have never understood what poverty feels like. You cannot steward great resources with wisdom if you have never learned the value of small resources through scarcity. You see, I am not just ending your season of lack tonight. I am launching you into a season of tremendous influence and impact. The resources coming to you are not merely for your personal comfort or security. They are for divine assignment. They are tools being placed in your hands to accomplish purposes that have been waiting for this exact moment in history. 12 angels have been specifically reassigned to your financial breakthrough as of this very moment. They are not coming at some future date. They are already here, positioned around your life. They have been briefed on the specific doors that need to open and the exact provision that needs to be released into your hands. My treasured one, let me explain the closed doors that have confused and frustrated you over the years. That business partnership that fell apart at the worst possible time. You thought it was failure. You thought it was evidence that you simply could not succeed, no matter how hard you tried. You replayed those events in your mind countless times, wondering what you did wrong and what you could have done differently. But let me pull back the curtain and show you what I saw behind that door. If that partnership had continued as you desperately wanted it to, within 18 months you would have been implicated in serious fraud that you knew absolutely nothing about. Your partner had secrets hidden behind a charming smile. Financial crimes were being committed that would have eventually surfaced, and your name would have been attached to all of it. Your reputation would have been destroyed. Your freedom could have been at risk. Everything you had worked to build would have crumbled, and the mud of that scandal would have followed you for the rest of your life. I closed that door not to deny you success, but to protect you from disaster disguised as opportunity. What felt like rejection was actually divine rescue. That job you prayed and fasted for with such intensity and desperation. The one that seemed absolutely perfect in every way. The salary was higher than anything you had ever earned. The title would have impressed everyone in your family. The benefits would have solved so many problems. If I had allowed you to get that position, you would have been trapped in a system that would have systematically crushed your spirit and destroyed your health. The corporate culture was toxic beyond what the polished interview process revealed. The demands would have consumed every waking hour and stolen you from your family. The salary looked excellent on paper, but the stress would have hospitalized you within 2 years. The position would have required ethical compromises that would have haunted your conscience and eroded your integrity. I said no because I could see the full picture that you could not see from your limited vantage point. That investment opportunity that passed you by. You watched others profit while you were left out, and bitterness tried to take deep root in your heart. You felt like everyone else was moving forward while you were stuck in place. But those profits were temporary and illusory. Within 3 years, that entire investment structure collapsed catastrophically, and those who had invested heavily lost absolutely everything. Families were destroyed. Retirements were wiped out. Some lost their homes and their marriages. Your exclusion from that opportunity was not punishment. It was protection. My no saved you from a disaster you could not foresee. There was also that friendship that ended around the same time you started experiencing financial pressure. You thought you lost a friend over nothing, but I saw what you could not see. That person was about to involve you in a financial scheme that would have destroyed your credit, drained your resources, and left you in legal trouble. They seemed like a good friend. They spoke well and presented opportunity in attractive packaging. But their character was compromised, and their plans were corrupt. When I removed them from your life, you mourned the loss of the friendship without understanding that I was surgically removing a tumor before it could spread. The timing of these financial struggles was not random either. I know it felt like everything collapsed at once, but there was purpose in the timing. I was dismantling certain things in your life that needed to be removed before I could build what I truly intended. Think of it like renovation. Before a house can be beautifully restored, sometimes walls must come down. The process looks destructive. Dust fills the air. The house becomes temporarily unlivable, but the end result is something far better than what existed before. Your financial life has been under divine renovation. The structures that were built on faulty foundations had to come down. The systems that were not sustainable had to be dismantled. The patterns that were keeping you trapped had to be interrupted, even though the interruption felt like destruction. Now the rebuilding phase begins. And what I build will last. What I construct will sustain. What I establish will prosper. My chosen one, every closed door was actually a saved life. Every rejection was precise redirection. Every no that brought you tears was secretly a protective yes to something infinitely better waiting in your future. Now let me tell you in specific detail what is about to happen in your life. Within 40 days of receiving this message, you will experience a financial shift so dramatic and undeniable that people around you will ask what happened. This is not wishful thinking or positive affirmation. This is prophetic declaration backed by the full authority and power of heaven itself. The first promise concerns immediate provision that is already on its way to you. Before this week ends, money that you did not expect and could not have predicted is going to come to you from a source you never anticipated. It might be a refund you forgot about that suddenly processes and appears in your account. It might be a gift from someone who suddenly felt unexplainably compelled to bless you. It might be an opportunity that materializes out of nowhere with your name on it. When this provision comes, and it will come, do not dismiss it as mere coincidence. Recognize it as the first fruits of midnight's breakthrough beginning to manifest in your visible reality. Let it build your faith for the greater provision that follows. The second promise concerns your debt and financial obligations. Within these 40 days, a clear strategy for eliminating your debt will crystallize before you. I am not necessarily saying all debt will magically disappear tonight, though I am certainly capable of such miracles when they serve my purposes. I am saying that supernatural wisdom will come to you, unexpected doors will open before you, and a path out of financial bondage will illuminate clearly before your eyes. Someone may offer to help you in ways they never have before, and cannot explain why they suddenly feel moved to do so. An opportunity for additional income may present itself at exactly the right moment. A debt may be forgiven or significantly reduced through circumstances you did not orchestrate. Watch carefully for my hand moving on your behalf in these matters. The third promise concerns generational change that extends far beyond your own life. You are not just breaking out of lack for yourself tonight. You are breaking a cycle that has plagued your family for multiple generations, going back further than anyone can remember. The poverty mentality that has limited your parents, your grandparents, and their parents before them loses all its power tonight at midnight. Your children will not fight this same battle you have fought. They will start their financial lives from a higher place because of the breakthrough you are receiving. Your grandchildren will inherit abundance mentality instead of scarcity thinking. They will expect provision because they will grow up watching you walk in it. You are the turning point for your entire family line. You are the generational curse breaker. What changes in your finances tonight sends ripples through time that affect descendants you will never meet in this lifetime. You may feel warmth spreading through your hands or your chest right now. That physical sensation is not your imagination or wishful thinking. That is the tangible presence of the one who owns all provision, confirming these promises over your life. Let that sensation anchor what you are hearing deep into the core of your spirit, where doubt cannot reach it. My faithful one, I have specific instructions for you that require your attention and obedience. These are not optional suggestions for you to consider at your convenience. These are requirements for fully receiving what is being released. Your obedience activates what my mouth has declared. Your action unlocks what my hand has prepared. First, you must forgive everyone who has contributed to your financial hardship. The person who borrowed money and never paid you back despite their promises. The employer who underpaid you for years while profiting from your labor. The family member who took advantage of your generosity and gave nothing in return. The business partner who cheated you when you trusted them completely. The ex-spouse who left you with all the debt from the marriage. Whoever they are, whatever amount they took, however deeply they wounded you, you must release them completely tonight. Say their name right now, out loud. Let it rise from the depths where you have buried the bitterness and resentment. And then speak these words over them with your mouth. I forgive you completely. I release you from every debt you owe me. I will no longer carry the weight of what you took from me. My provision does not depend on you making things right or paying me back. My Father is my source, and He is more than enough to cover every loss. The moment you release them, you unlock provision that has been blocked by your unforgiveness. Bitterness is incredibly expensive. It costs you far more than whatever was originally taken from you. It blocks blessing and attracts more loss. Let it go completely tonight and watch what opens up in your financial life. Second, you must fundamentally change how you speak about your finances. Your words have been unknowingly agreeing with the enemy's assessment of your situation. Every time you say, I am so broke, you are prophesying poverty over your own life. Every time you declare, I will never have enough, or money is always a problem, you are partnering with the spirit of lack and giving it permission to remain. Words carry power that most people do not understand. What you speak with your mouth shapes the spiritual atmosphere around your life. Your declarations either agree with heaven's abundance or hell's scarcity. Starting tonight, starting right now in this very moment, you will only speak what I say about your provision. Say this out loud wherever you are. I am blessed and highly favored. I am abundantly provided for in every area of my life. My needs are met according to glorious riches. Wealth and abundance are actively chasing me down. I am a lender and not a borrower. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. Speak these declarations every single morning before your feet touch the floor. Speak them throughout the day whenever worry or anxiety tries to creep back in. Speak them at night before you close your eyes to sleep. Your words are actively rebuilding your financial reality from the inside out. Third, you must position yourself for increase through radical generosity, even in your current season of lack. This instruction may seem completely counterintuitive when you are struggling to make ends meet. The enemy will whisper urgently that you cannot afford to give anything away. He will argue that you need to hold tightly to every penny. But that scarcity mindset is exactly the trap that has kept you imprisoned in lack for so long. I am not asking you to give irresponsibly or to create genuine hardship for your family. I am not telling you to skip paying your rent so you can donate to a charity. I am asking you to trust me with something, even something small. Find someone this week who has less than you and be a tangible blessing to them. It might be buying a meal for a homeless person you encounter. It might be giving a larger tip than usual to someone working a service job. It might be contributing to a need you become aware of at church or in your community. When you give in faith, even from a place of lack, you activate the eternal law of sowing and reaping in your favor. You position yourself as a channel of blessing rather than just a reservoir trying to hold on to everything. Channels receive continuous flow because they keep things moving. Reservoirs eventually run dry because they only take in without releasing. There is a fourth instruction that I must give you, and it requires courage. You must begin to dream again about your financial future. The enemy has so beaten down your expectations that you have stopped imagining what abundance could look like. You have become so accustomed to survival mode that you cannot picture thriving. Your vision for your financial life has shrunk to simply making it through another month. Tonight, I am restoring your ability to dream financially. I want you to begin imagining what your life looks like when lack is no longer your constant companion. See yourself paying bills without anxiety. See yourself giving generously without calculating whether you can afford it. See yourself providing for your family without the constant stress that has marked these difficult years. This is not fantasy or wishful thinking. This is faith-filled imagination that creates landing strips for blessing. When you can see it in your spirit, you create space for it in your reality. The enemy wants you to keep your head down and your expectations low. I want you to lift your eyes and see the abundance that is approaching. Write down what you see when you imagine financial freedom. Be specific. How does it feel to check your bank account without fear? What does it look like to plan a vacation without worrying about every expense? How does it change your relationships when money is no longer a source of tension? This vision you write down is not just daydreaming. It is prophetic declaration over your future. It is creating in the spiritual realm what will manifest in the natural realm. Keep it somewhere you can see it and read it every day as an act of faith. My beloved, let me speak directly to your identity now, because this matters more than your bank balance. You are not defined by your bank account balance or the number that appears when you check your accounts. You are not measured by your credit score or the debts that appear on your report. You are not limited by your current income or the size of your paycheck. These are temporary numbers attached to a temporary season, and these numbers are about to change dramatically. You are royalty, whether you feel like it or not. You are the beloved child of the King who owns everything in existence. There is no lack anywhere in my kingdom, and you are a full citizen of that kingdom with complete rights and privileges. The poverty that marked your family for generations does not have permission to mark you any longer. The financial struggles that plagued your parents and limited their dreams do not have authority over your future. The scarcity mentality that was passed down through your bloodline like a genetic disease is being broken and healed right now as these words enter your spirit. You are not what your bank statements have suggested. You are not what your circumstances have implied. You are what I declare you to be. And I declare you blessed beyond measure. I declare you prosperous in every area of life. I declare you more than enough for every good work I have prepared for you to walk in. The tears forming in your eyes right now are not weakness or embarrassment. They are release and cleansing. Years of financial trauma, stress, and worry are leaving your body through those tears. Let them flow freely without restraint. Do not hold them back or wipe them away too quickly. Each tear is carrying out fear and anxiety that has lived in you for far too long. My cherished one, there is something more I need to speak over you before we reach the climax of this sacred moment. I know the specific wounds that money problems have created in your relationships. I know about the arguments with your spouse that were really about financial stress, masquerading as other issues. I know about the guilt you carry for not being able to provide what you wanted for your children. I know about the distance that grew between you and family members because you could not participate in things they took for granted. Financial pressure does not stay contained in bank accounts. It bleeds into every area of life. It affects how you sleep, how you eat, how you relate to loved ones, how you view yourself in the mirror. The weight of constant lack creates a heaviness that touches everything. But tonight, that weight is being lifted permanently. The shame you have carried about your financial situation is not from me. I have never looked at you with disappointment because of your bank balance. I have never measured your worth by your net worth. The enemy planted that shame to keep you hiding, to keep you isolated, to keep you from asking for help when help was available. You are about to walk in a financial anointing that will surprise everyone who knows your history. People who watched you struggle will watch you thrive. Those who privately doubted your ability to succeed will have to publicly acknowledge your turnaround. The same family members who may have looked down on your situation will come to you for advice on how you changed everything so dramatically. This is not about proving them wrong. This is about proving me faithful. Your testimony of financial breakthrough will point people to the one who provides, not to your own cleverness or hard work. Let me tell you about the angelic activity that is intensifying around your situation even as you receive these words. The 12 angels I mentioned earlier are not standing idle. They are actively engaged in dismantling financial barriers that were built against you over years and decades. Some of these barriers were constructed by your own wrong beliefs about money. Some were built by generational patterns passed down from ancestors. Some were erected by direct demonic assignment against your family line. All of them are coming down tonight. One angel is specifically assigned to open employment doors that have been supernaturally sealed. If you have been job hunting, expect unusual callbacks and opportunities. If you have been overlooked for promotion, expect sudden recognition. If you have been stuck at a certain income level, expect that ceiling to shatter. Another angel is assigned to close doors of expense that have been draining your resources wastefully. That subscription you forgot you were paying for will come to your attention. That service you have been overpaying for will suddenly offer a better rate. That recurring expense that seemed unavoidable will resolve itself. Another angel is specifically working on the hearts of people who owe you money or who have the capacity to bless you financially. They will feel unexplainable promptings to fulfill their obligations or to extend generosity toward you. Do not be surprised when people who have owed you for years suddenly feel compelled to pay. Do not be shocked when someone you barely know offers unexpected financial blessing. This is coordinated heavenly activity, and it is happening on your behalf right now. The physical sensations you may be experiencing are not coincidental. The warmth in your hands represents anointing for receiving. The tingling in your body represents the shift happening in your spiritual atmosphere. The tears in your eyes represent years of financial stress being released. The peace settling over you represents the end of anxiety's reign. Let these sensations anchor the truth of what is being spoken. Let your body confirm what your spirit is receiving. This is real. This is happening. This is your moment of transformation. My cherished one, do you remember what I told you at the very beginning of this message? Tonight, at midnight, everything changes. When the clock strikes 12 tonight, 7 years of financial captivity officially and permanently end. The demonic blockages are removed by angelic force. The enemy assignments are canceled by divine decree. The season shifts from lack to abundance by my sovereign word. You may not see fireworks in the sky marking the moment. You may not feel anything dramatically different in that exact instant when the clock changes. But in the spirit realm, doors that have been locked are swinging open. Angels that have been waiting are moving into action. Provision that has been held back is being released. And all of it will manifest in your visible reality over the coming days and weeks. This breakthrough is not based on your perfect performance. This blessing is not contingent on you being without fault or mistake. This is pure grace, an unmerited favor that you could never earn and do not deserve by any human standard, but that I am giving you freely anyway, because I love you deeply and because it is simply time. Let me tell you something about what the enemy thought he accomplished through these 7 years of financial warfare against you. He thought he broke you. He thought the constant pressure would cause you to curse me and walk away. He thought the sleepless nights and the anxious days would destroy your faith and turn your heart cold toward the one who loves you most. He was wrong. Instead of breaking you, the pressure refined you. Instead of destroying your faith, the testing deepened it. Instead of turning you away from me, the hardship drove you closer to my heart. Everything he meant for destruction became material for construction. You did not realize it, but every day you survived lack with your faith intact was a victory over the powers of darkness. Every time you chose gratitude over bitterness despite your circumstances, you were defeating the enemy's strategy. Every prayer you prayed when logic said prayer was pointless was a weapon of warfare that pushed back darkness. You have been fighting a battle you did not fully understand, and you have been winning. The enemy knows he has lost. That is why he has intensified his attacks recently. He can sense that his time of tormenting your finances is ending, and he is making desperate last attempts to steal what is coming to you. But his efforts are futile. What I have declared cannot be undone by any demonic strategy. What I have set in motion cannot be stopped by any earthly circumstance. Your midnight breakthrough is secured by my word, and my word never returns void. The same power that spoke light into existence is speaking provision into your situation right now. The same voice that commanded the seas and they obeyed is commanding doors to open for you. The same authority that raised the dead is raising your financial situation from the grave of lack into the resurrection of abundance. This is not dependent on the economy. This is not limited by your education or connections. This is not constrained by your age or your history. This is sovereign supernatural intervention in your circumstances. and it begins tonight at midnight. The midnight hour is approaching, not just on the clock tonight, but in the larger story of your life. The darkest part of the night always comes just before dawn breaks. The heaviest pressure often comes just before breakthrough arrives. You have been living in the midnight hour of your finances, enduring the darkest part of the night season. But now the sun is about to rise on your financial life. Go in provision, my child. The days of scraping by and barely surviving are ending permanently. The season of more than enough is beginning today. Go in peace, my precious one. The anxiety over money that has stolen your sleep is being lifted off your shoulders. The fear of lack that has haunted your thoughts is being broken. You will sleep peacefully, knowing that your Father provides for every need. Go in purpose, my beloved. The resources coming to you have divine assignment attached. Use them wisely and generously. Be extravagantly generous with what I give you. Remember those who are still in the wilderness you are leaving and help pull them out. The midnight shift is coming. The clock is ticking toward your breakthrough. Every second brings you closer to the moment when everything changes. I am with you. I have always been with you through every season of lack and every moment of financial worry. I never left you during the hard times, even when you wondered where I was. And I will certainly not leave you as abundance comes pouring in. Midnight is approaching. And when it arrives, nothing about your financial life will ever be the same again. Your season of lack ends tonight. This is not a wish based on hope. This is not a possibility dependent on circumstances. This is a promise from the one who cannot lie and has never broken his word. Believe it with your whole heart. Receive it with open hands. Walk in it with confident steps. And never forget the midnight moment when your Father looked at your struggles and said with finality, "Enough. It is time for my child to prosper." That moment is tonight. That moment is now. Go in power. Go in provision. Go in peace. Your midnight breakthrough has arrived. Save this message. Come back to it when doubt tries to creep in. Read it again when the enemy whispers that nothing has changed. Let these words remind you of what was spoken over your life on this sacred night. In the days ahead, keep your eyes open for the manifestations of what has been declared. They may come in unexpected ways and through unexpected people. Do not dismiss small beginnings as insignificant. The massive oak was once a tiny acorn. Your financial forest is being planted tonight. Tell someone about this experience, not to boast, but to testify. Spoken testimony has power. When you declare what happened in this moment, you seal it in the natural realm. Your words become anchors that hold the spiritual reality in place. And when the breakthrough manifests in full, when the provision flows, when the abundance arrives, remember this midnight. Remember the one who spoke it into existence. Remember that you were chosen for prosperity before you ever experienced lack. I always keep my promises. Always. Without exception. Your midnight has come. Now walk into your morning.